Hey guys, Ash and Matt here, hanging out in our kitchen. We thought it was an appropriate place to talk to you guys about how we grocery shop like badasses. So it is our goal today to give you some tips on how you can save time and money when it comes to grocery shopping. So some of these things we've always done, but some of these things we've become more proficient at since having Rowynne. So we're gonna start with the beginning, how it starts, and then right to the end. So how it starts is you must meal plan. Okay, so we will go on like Friday or Saturday, go through like a bunch of recipes that we want to make through the week, pick out the exact recipes that have the pick out the exact ingredients so we're not wasting money. So we found that before, when we just used to buy a bunch of groceries, that's when you end up wasting stuff. Did you want to show something?
I was just going to say some of the books we use. So Thug Kitchen is one.
Yeah, this one's from Nicole.
Yeah, that's a really great book. We grab recipes from that, or we grab Minimalist Baker's Everyday Cooking. That's another one. Or we just use recipes from your guys' meal plans.
Yep. So that seems to be our big thing. So yeah, we'll go through this month's Really Fit Online meal plan. We'll go through if we want something different through those recipe books. That's why they're right there in the kitchen, so they're like super quick to go through. And then we kind of like almost like think of a theme that we want. It's like, okay, we want like a crock pot meal. We want something that's really fall-like, or like I want something in it that has pasta this week. And so that's kind of where we start. Yep. And then we pick our meals, and then we make our grocery list from there. And we save so much money, but also waste. So we're not constantly throwing stuff out. It's not to say we don't throw stuff out once in a while.
No, sometimes things happen, but for the most part, a lot of the ingredients that we buy, we end up using in the recipe, so we really don't. We don't have a lot of leftover stuff that goes bad, or our cupboards are pretty organized as a result.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. This one can use some work with organization.
Well, that's because
Yeah. But anyway, so that's how we start. So that's step one to making sure that when you go grocery shopping, that you're efficient with your time, but also your money.
Gotta have a plan.
So the second one would be, as of late, majorly, we used to always go shopping on Sundays together, but since having Rowynne, and then more so when she started getting on more of a schedule with her napping, grocery shopping I found became stressful because we'd spend the whole time in between a nap just shopping. Giving her snack when she got up, going grocery shopping, getting back, getting the groceries out, and then all of a sudden it's lunchtime and she has to go to bed again, and we didn't get to play. Right. So we actually started doing click and collect, and we find that saves us tons of time. So like either on like a Friday, Saturday night, sometimes Sunday, but usually on the weekend, we'll do the click and collect. That's how fun our Friday and Saturday nights are.
It can be pretty fun.
We do click and collect. I just realized I said that. So we order it the night before, and then we kind of plan our day around what we're going to be doing the next day, so we know when to pick it up. So for example, this weekend we did it on Saturday night. Sunday we went to my parents for the whole day. We were basically there from like first thing in the morning until after Rowynne's nap. So we didn't leave until before dinner time. So we booked it between 3 and 5. So I literally just like flew through there on my way home. So it took me like, I don't know, 5 minutes waiting for them to bring their groceries out, and then I got to go home. So I got more time spent with my family, and then more time at home with Matt and Rowynne, not spent with her in a grocery cart. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, shout out to Maya, who got us onto it, because she worked on the team that was deploying that idea, and now it's rolled out to basically all of their stores almost.
Brilliant.
And it's fantastic. Yeah. So she sent me, we can send people that if they want, we can send them a link to, I think you get to do it for free the first time you do it, and then we get a referral bonus for everyone who signs up to try it for the first time. So maybe you should consider sending a link out to everybody so they can try it for free.
Yeah, well, let us know if you want it.
By
the way, your link it's not free. It gives you $10 off.
Well, that's pretty good.
But still good. But it's not free groceries.
Anyway,
so
no, but I mean free pickup. Basically every time you use click and collect, you pay $3 or $5 depending on what time of the day.
Only if it's the weekend, right?
No, always. So
excuse me.
It's either $3 or $5, depending on what time of the day and what day of the week it is. But it's never more than $5. So in my opinion, the amount of time that you save by just pulling in, grabbing your groceries and leaving, I mean, that's worth $5. It's probably worth more than $5.
Yeah.
So the whole concept is fantastic, and just being able to pick up the groceries and leave, and you can use your PC points if you tell them in advance. You can bring your bins, and they give you a discount for the bins. Like it's basically the same experience, but you're just driving in and leaving.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Yeah, so that takes us to where we shop. And I know a lot of you guys know, because you hear me say it all the time, where did you find that, Ashley? Where did you find that? Superstore. So we do most of our shopping at the Superstore.
Yeah.
And the reason being, because even when we go ourselves, it's not saying we never go ourselves. We still go ourselves sometimes. But I would say more often than not, we do click and collect. But the reason we shop at Superstore is because I would rather do one-stop shop and get like all my groceries. I can grab something for Rowynne if, you know, she needs like a new pair of pants, and then I can go to the cosmetics, and then I can get something if I need like a new eyebrow pencil, and then I can go and I can get diapers. Like there's just everything there.
It works for us. Yeah.
It works for us. Yeah. I would rather do that and then save my time rather than saving a couple dollars of getting like different coupons, because then I'm going to be driving to and from, and that's my time, that's the gas, so that's your time and your money. So I would rather just go to one place and then get it all done. Now, we do go other places. We do go to Costco sometimes to get some things in bulk. I would say we probably only go once every like 2 months or so.
Costco we use for the big stuff, like diapers, paper towels, toilet paper, like bulk ingredients like rice, quinoa, things like that. Almond butter, like large things. But we don't typically go there to buy produce. We don't buy like meats and things like that because we don't eat a lot of meat. But typically we just get that from like a local butcher. But Costco's really handy for that.
Yeah.
And I generally find that the pricing at Costco is better than Superstore for those items.
Yes, except for almond milk. Almond milk is actually cheaper at the Superstore than it is at Costco.
Yeah, I find it's a better deal there.
So and then you try to go on your lunch hour when you're working in Brampton. So
or whenever.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, that's where we shop, and that's why we shop there. Now they do have a click and collect at Walmart. I don't find that we shop a lot at Walmart because the certain products that we really like, they are bringing more in there, a lot more in there. So it's something that we could definitely explore in the future. However, right now, like with all the organics that we get, I find that we get the most variety at the Superstore. Today I had to do a quick little stop off to get some new produce, so I went to Metro. But yes, Superstore is usually our place. We usually do click and collect, and yeah.
I also wanted to mention something that I like about the Superstore, and it's the real Canadian Superstore. Like General Loblaws, I think they're all pretty much Superstores now, but for the most part, the Superstore is the one that has like everything in it.
Yes, because it's a superstore.
Yeah, it's super. But what I've noticed that I really like about the Superstores is that the way they organize their organic section. So everything organic and the stuff that we typically eat, all of the gluten-free stuff, the dairy-free stuff, that's all in one section. Whereas when you go to the Metro, it's
mixed
depends on what aisle you go to. And so when we go, again, efficiency and time, we go to the Superstore, because if we do go into the store, we literally go to the produce aisle and the organic section, essentially, like that section, and that's pretty much it. We're done. And we'll spend a little bit of time in the kids section. That's it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like when you're at the Metro, I get lost in there. I can't find stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
I get frustrated. So anyway, it works for us.
So that also, I have a couple points here. So that also is that we really only shop in the produce and the organics. Now, once in a blue moon, we might need something from like the international section, but we find that we eat healthier if we just shop produce. I mean, you've always heard that thing about do the perimeter. Because if you're going to go through the other aisles and all of a sudden you're going to start salivating because you're going to see cookies that you want or chips that you want or whatever that you don't really need. So that's where we shop, and it is pretty efficient. And luckily for us, they're actually right beside each other typically. It's like one down the produce, one down the organic, and then we're done. Yeah. And then I'm going to answer a couple questions. I see some coming through, but then we're going to get into some of our non-negotiables, like things that we will spend some extra money on, and then things that we won't.
Sure.
Do they have good gluten-free products there?
Yes.
Yes, they do. They have quite a few, but we are going to be getting into some gimmicks as well later about what to watch for when you're shopping in the organics.
Yes.
I like the idea of click and collect, but knowing myself, I'm pretty picky with my produce. Are you happy with the choices they make for you? Yes, we have been very happy with the choices, with the exception of one time, but like I don't know, it's a one-off. Like I've gotten groceries or produce before and been like, oh crap, I didn't realize this one was bruised. But the only thing I'm super picky about where they don't pick good ones is avocado. So I actually, I prefer to get, we don't have it anymore, but the ones that come in packs. And those ones are actually not very ripe, so you do have to make sure that if you want something right away, that you go and you get it yourself. But if you're okay with waiting for it to ripe, if you get the organic pack of avocados, or just regular pack, but they don't always have it, and I think it has usually 4 in it, then that's the only issue I've ever had, but that one is great. It never comes bruised.
No, and then they ripen, if you could, you throw them in a brown paper bag and they'll ripen faster.
Yeah, or by bananas. They ripen.
By bananas,
yeah.
they ripen with bananas.
So we just got some on Sunday, and then I put them over by the bananas. Yeah. I put them in the banana bowl so they ripe faster, and then that way we had them. So. Yeah. And we could use them right away.
But generally speaking, their produce has been excellent.
Yeah, I haven't had any complaints.
And we have had a couple of mix-ups in general. And you call them back, and you basically say, "Hey, you charged me for this baby food, but we didn't get that baby food, or whatever." And they immediately give you money back, they give you credit to go into the store. Like it's almost no questions asked for the most part. It's been a really pleasant experience.
Yeah. And if you pick stuff that they don't have in stock, they'll let you know and be like, this is what we could sub it out for. Are you okay with this? So before your order's finished, because they send you an email to be like, your order's complete. Yeah. If you don't like what their offer is, so for example, we wanted some gluten-free vegetable stock this weekend. They didn't have it, so they offered us organic gluten-free vegetable stock, which we didn't want. It wasn't gluten-free. It wasn't gluten-free. So that instead of the gluten-free Imagine brand, they offered us President's Choice Organic, and it's not gluten-free. So I didn't want it. So so we just said no, and then they took it off the list and off the price. Yeah. Okay, what's up next here? I love that you can price match at that's the other cool thing. So there's a couple cool things that you can do at Superstore. They are starting to have dedicated lines for the coupon people. Yes. So if you're really savvy, you can get that app. I can't remember what it's called, but it's anyway. There's an app. There's a couple of them, but anyway, there's the app and I see people in there all the time showing their phone, and they just boop, 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 like they've got them already on their phone, and they just keep showing them, and so you really don't have to go to the other stores because they'll price match. Yeah, so that's true. Yeah, it's a really good point. Yeah, for sure. I actually didn't know that. I just learned something. I didn't even know that. Oh, Flip app.
Flip app. Yeah.
And Colleen had another question. Do they have gluten-free bread you like? Yes, they do. And you know what? I don't have it right now, so I can't remember the name of it. But they do have gluten-free bread I like. However, if you don't 100% need to be gluten-free, you don't have to get gluten-free bread. It can be higher on the glycemic index, so it can actually spike your blood sugar just as much as a piece of white bread. Mm-hmm. So don't get the gluten-free bread, Colleen, unless you absolutely need it. Instead, we like Ezekiel bread or sprouted grain breads. I don't think we have any Ezekiel right now. But we do get Silver Hill sprouted grain breads, but we have to admit, lately I realized that all of their ingredients aren't sprouted. Technically no. So they used to be. So we're gonna have another Facebook Live about that because sprouted grain bread has become so popular that now it's misleading.
Yeah, Ezekiel definitely is.
But Ezekiel's fantastic. So if you like or if you don't need gluten-free, I suggest going to the organic section. It's always in the freezer because it doesn't have a lot of preservatives, so it needs to be kept in there. Yeah. And get the Ezekiel bread. Yeah. Now, sprouted grain breads, I'm going to do a whole other Facebook Live on that because I was very disappointed to find out. Yeah. Matt just pointed out on the weekend that not all the ingredients are sprouted anymore, and they used to be. Yeah. So
I'm also a big bagel fan. And so I really like my bagels, so it's painful when we can't have like regular bagels. So I don't. Silver Hills makes bagels, which are pretty good, and I like them. And also Glutino makes ones. So those are the gluten-free ones.
The gluten-free bagels are actually pretty good. Glutino, but Glutino's not my favorite kind of gluten-free bread, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyways, they do have lots of options there, Colleen. So I don't know if you have to be, but if you don't have to be, then I would suggest Ezekiel. I would have suggested sprouted grain, any of them before, but I will not do that anymore. Is that why the sprouted grain tastes better and lighter than the Ezekiel bread? Probably, but it didn't.
Because Ezekiel's kind of heavy, especially dense. Especially the English muffins, like the braised cinnamon ones, are really dense.
Yeah, they are very dense. I don't know the answer to that, Amanda. I would presume so, but I don't know that for a fact. However, I do know that Silver Hills used to have a bread that was all sprouted grain. So when you read the ingredients, it would be like sprouted whole wheat, sprouted millet, sprouted buckwheat or whatever. Like everything was sprouted, and now it's not. And that's where you lose the that's where like you lose the quality. So if it's not sprouted, and then that's where you have to be wary. So a lot of the breads I'm finding almost just take like regular breads, and I was like, man, this bread's amazing. And then I found out that it's not all sprouted. You're most welcome. So then is Silver Hills maybe not as good for you? Sorry to get off topic.
Well, I'm not sure. That's a good question. We should ask them.
I have to do more investigating. I would have said yes before. I would have said not as good as Ezekiel, but very good for you if you're just looking to have something that's like healthier than like a whole wheat. But I don't know if I can confidently say that anymore. So I have to do more research on this and get Kelly's opinion as well. But no, like typically I would suggest having sprouted grain bread. And so what I would have suggested before is you look at the back of the ingredients, and every single piece of wheat that's on there would be sprouted. And it would always have to say like before, like for example, I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but for example, right now this says organic sprouted whole wheat. And then the next one should say organic sprouted multigrain blend. Organic sprouted whole spelt, but it doesn't say that anymore. Now it just says organic whole spelt, organic flaxseed, organic wheat flour, organic.
That's the one that I wondered about, was the organic wheat flour.
Yeah, and then the other one had vital wheat gluten in it or whatever. Yeah. And before it used to be sprouted this, sprouted that, sprouted this, and it's not anymore. So this is still a good bread, but it's still not as good as Ezekiel. So I don't know if Silver Hills has actually has a couple different kinds of breads. So just look at the back. Yeah. It's just that they're becoming so popular now, and that's why probably they've been cheaper. I thought it was because they're gaining in popularity, but I guess not. But just read the back and just look to see as many sprouted ingredients as you possibly can. You're welcome. Okay, so on to the next. We were going to talk about the non-negotiables. So things that we will spend money on and places that you can save money. So you get organic bananas, but I don't think that you need to waste money on organic bananas. Anything that has the thick skin. So think of the Dirty Dozen. So what I want to pay money on organics for would be things with thin skin. So like the apples, pears, celery. You don't often find nightshades like that, but I would invest in nightshades and that would be like zucchini, eggplant, anything like that. Kale, spinach, like all those kind of things we try to get organic. The things that I don't worry about getting organic would be like spaghetti squash and bananas, pineapple, like cantaloupe,
melons.
Melons, watermelon, I don't even know if you see that, but anything that has like a really big skin. So we don't go and order everything organic. We just order the ones that make sense. I'm very particular about organic apples. I think that apples that aren't organic, unless you're just pulling them right from like a local apple orchard, I think they're gross. They have like a wax on them and they have an aftertaste, even if you wash them, like bleh. So for me, I'd rather invest the money on especially like apples and pears.
And then what else was non-negotiable?
Non-negotiable for me would be a lot of the like organic section stuff. So like the brown rice. Yeah. So like I would rather spend money on like brown rice pasta than go and buy like the cheaper white rice. Yeah. But where you don't need to waste money is like sometimes they'll suggest like some pasta will be like gluten-free. Well, if it's gluten-free and it was made just with like plain white rice, that's great. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's better for you, right? So just look for anything that is in the, I just look for something that's gluten-free. So my typical is brown rice pasta, and we really like buckwheat, but we typically stick, which I think I've shown you guys before, is this one. It's just 100% rice pasta, and then we also get a one that we don't have right now, but it's just made from beans. Yeah. So that's where.
There is one. There's one in here we get from Costco.
Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't even see it.
This one's really good.
That one's really good.
They've been stocking different kinds of this at Costco.
So I know I've already shown you guys some of these products before, but this is where, for us, it's worth spending the extra money rather than going and getting like a big, massive bag that's full of wheat. And even if it says whole wheat, yay! You're still going to be bloated and feel gross after. So I would rather spend the money on stuff like that and the breads. So basically anything that has like gluten in it, for me, I would rather invest money in like the good quality stuff that is either low gluten, like spread of grain breads, or gluten-free breads, or pastas. So that's kind of where we spend our money. But everything else, I mean, we probably only spend like around $200 a week on groceries. Would you say?
One of the things we try, and one of the things we try to be really cognizant of is because we make a lot of smoothies and a lot of shakes.
Yes.
And we don't use a lot of fresh fruits.
Yes, that's a great point.
We barely use a lot of the stuff that we use is frozen.
Yeah.
So especially for shakes, because I mean, if you're going to go through fresh stuff to make shakes, you're going to burn through a lot of produce, and it's best to just eat that stuff whole.
Yeah.
So we any kind of shakes and things like that, we go and we buy the frozen stuff. And one thing, not to plug Superstore again, but Superstore is now doing the fruit that comes. It's called Naturally Imperfect. So what it is,
a lot cheaper.
It's like when you see produce from the other companies, they're all perfectly sized cubes and they're all the same size. Well, what happens to the ones that are not just the same size? They end up in these bags. And they're still, this quality is still the same.
It doesn't matter. It's being blended
so
anyways.
So we buy it in bulk. Yeah. So that's one of the ways that we save a lot of money on fruits and even some of the vegetables we get frozen, because it's just, I mean, what's the point in buying fresh ones if they're not in season? We get frozen ones.
Yeah, actually, Kelly just taught me. I didn't even know this. We just got it this week for the first time that you can get frozen avocado, and avocado is pretty expensive. So. We buy it now. We bought this one frozen to put into our smoothies instead of putting like a whole fresh avocado in. We still eat fresh avocado, but we'll leave it for like not putting in shakes. And then things like mangoes, like all those fruits that can be more expensive. Berries, like berries is a huge one to get frozen. We rarely buy fresh berries. We get them sometimes in the summer when they're local and they're a little bit more cost effective, but typically all our berries, most of our fruit besides like bananas, grapefruit, oranges, and pomegranates, they're in season now, they're all frozen.
Yeah.
So let's see what else people, whoops. I love that chickpea pasta. I know, it's so good, right? So do you buy organic frozen fruit? We do a lot, but we don't always. No, I mean, in the ideal world, you would buy organic berries, because berries are one that are really high in pesticides naturally. Unnaturally, but often, I should say, frequently. So we do try to buy frozen organic berries, but we don't always get them. Like sometimes it just comes a matter of like, they're not available, they don't have the kind that we want, and we just want like a big dirty bag of like mixed berries.
Or a dirty bag.
Yeah.
Or they're super expensive. Like when you're looking at a bag of that, and then you're looking at a tiny little bag of Dole organic strawberries, and then you grab the bag and half of it's air. I mean, you just have to do the math. And so you try to do the best that you can, but you also have to understand that sometimes it's just not, the value's not there. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah, so I would say it's like 50-50, but I don't waste...
For frozen stuff.
Yeah, I don't waste...
For fresh stuff, we would pretty much always opt for organic.
Yeah, with those kind of things, because they have thin skin, but I would say with the berries, it's like half and half. We do like 50%. Sometimes we buy organic, and sometimes we don't. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just because. But things like the mango, once again, we don't buy that fresh organic, so we don't buy that we don't buy it frozen organic. Right? So same thing, it has the big skin. So just kind of think of it like that. Like if you would buy it, like the ones that I mentioned, or like the Dirty Dozen or whatever, would I buy that organic fresh? Yes. So I would probably buy it organic frozen. So same idea. Costco has good frozen fruit too, and frozen avocado too, but I've never tasted that before. We got our frozen avocados from the Superstore.
We put them in the shakes.
Yeah, we haven't put them yet.
Didn't you put them in that one shake?
No, that was actually half of Rowynne's. But we will be putting it in our shakes, probably tomorrow actually, with the chocolate monkey one.
Shake is delicious.
It's very good, and it's great for pooping. I guess Amanda said before, it's at Costco too. Aside from the practically imperfect, any other frozen fruit or veggies do you also buy organic? I think I probably just covered that. I don't know if you'd asked that question before.
did you want to show what the avocado chunks look like? Just
Sure.
so we can see them?
Avocado chunks. Once again, we don't buy organic avocado unless I want that package, and that's the only one available for the click and collect, like the pack of 4. But yeah, so this one's not organic. Oh yeah.
Edamame.
We love edamame. We do buy this organic. These are great to like snack on the couch. Not that we've done it lately, but you could put some like sea salt on top of them. You can you just steam them. Or you can put them in the microwave, but recommend steaming vegetables and then put some salt on top. And it's like crunchy and salty. It's really good. So yeah, we buy things like this organic. Yeah. We actually don't have organic fruit berries right now.
No.
No. So that was one of the weeks that we did buy organic berries. Where do you buy the frozen avocado? Already answered that, I'm assuming. Frozen avocado is BC Brands, the Superstore, Fornitos. At least I've only seen that one there. Yep. RE Silver Hills. Costco has 2 different lines of Silver Hills. The ones with the white labels aren't as nutritious and fiber filled, and maybe not as sprouted.
Oh, that's good to know.
Oh, that's great to know, Carolyn. I can't read the rest of your thing, but that's exactly the one I was just showing you.
We'll look into that.
And that must be why, because I know for a fact, I know Matt was thinking I was crazy last weekend, but I know for a fact that Silver Hills used to have sprouted grain bread, like 100% sprouted grain. And then, but their products are like just, I don't know, like doubling, tripling like wildfire right now. So yeah, that's the kind of one that is probably not the best option. Their cheaper one. Yeah, you're most welcome. Okay, and then I would say last, marketing gimmicks to watch for. Organic section doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. So I know when I went basically gluten-free for like 3 years. And during that time, initially, I actually gained weight. And that's because I was that, like, even though I knew better, I was that, like, typical customer that didn't want to be feeling like I was deprived because I was going gluten-free. So I went to the organic section and I bought, like, all the gluten-free cookies, all the gluten-free crackers, all the gluten-free, like, I don't know, like little nibble things that you could, like little treats that you could get, like, unnecessary gluten-free stuff. I would have gluten-free bread like it was out of my wazoo, like, so just because it's gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy. And so those are things to watch for. And even whether you're in the organic section or not, if something on it says infused with calcium and infused with vitamin D and infused with vitamin K, like all these things, that's great, but it was manufactured. Like, it's still never as good as going to the produce section and getting your own. I mean, you don't go to the apple section, it's like full of vitamin C. Like, it's just healthy, right? Like, so you have to watch for those things. That doesn't mean it's healthier. You're going to get just as many vitamins from other things that you're buying that are produce and are like just organics, not organics. So as close to nature as possible. So I'm trying to think of an example of one.
Well, a cookie is still a cookie. A cracker is still a cracker. So if it's gluten-free or otherwise, it doesn't really make a difference. You're still eating crackers and you're still eating cookies. So, I mean, not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because I enjoy the occasional cookie, but you still have to think, I'm eating a cookie. I'm not eating, an apple.
Yeah, I went a little bit crazy on it.
Yeah, well, we both did. I mean, we ate a bunch of stuff like that. And sometimes we'll be like, we're having pretzels. Too bad. Yeah. And we'll just get a bunch of those glutino pretzels, and I can destroy a bag of those. Or those veggie sticks. Oh my God, like those things are out of control. Yeah, so I mean, we obviously have stuff like that, but if I'm gonna have pretzels, I do want gluten-free so I don't feel bloated after. But yeah, so those are the things to watch out for. Another good example would be cereals. You'll see like a lot of cereals. They're like infused with vitamin K and vitamin D. Well, that's great. It's still not as good. I'm not saying we don't have cereal. Like Rowynne has those Power-O's I was showing you guys last week for what Rowynne eats. So, but it's still not as good as having whole food. So don't get, those things are expensive too. Like they're more expensive than buying produce and buying healthy like food from nature. So just don't get caught up in all the gimmicks of, a product saying it's gluten-free. Doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy. It has vitamin C in it or vitamin D. Doesn't mean that's necessarily healthy. So like you can't always have on, That's okay.
Oh, we got it back.
Right.
We could do a Facebook Live on labels because you can't just look at something and be like, oh, it's low in sugar, we're good to go. No, doesn't mean that. So, not that that's a gimmick, but you just have to be careful about gimmicks when you're out there. So, kind of to, as a synopsis of this whole Facebook Live, we save money and we save time by creating a list of what we're going to eat that week. So that is like whatever we're eating that week, that directly goes onto our grocery list. Mm-hmm. And then after that, to save time, and essentially like money in a way, if it depends if it's interfering with your job or anything, we do click and collect. We still go to the grocery store sometimes, but I would say often we do click and collect probably once a week. Sometimes once every other, but that's another way. And we shop at the superstore, we forgot to mention, because we get tons of points there. We probably save $100 on groceries a month.
Oh, PC points, yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you just said that. Yeah,
okay, yeah.
PC points, yeah.
So that's
all of our cards are PC cards.
Yeah.
And
so
all
that's
of our stuff goes on it.
Exactly. So that's one of the ways we save money as well. So we make sure we make our list so that we're not wasting food and we're only buying things that we need. And then we make sure that we're shopping at the superstore and using our cards so that we're getting the points, and then also we can use those points towards our groceries. Which on average we find is about $100 a month. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah, and then the non-negotiables are like some of the organics that we buy, the stuff that's thin-skinned, and then we just do the perimeter, but really it's just down the produce and then up the organics, and then we're done. And then marketing gimmicks. So what else does that say anything?
I think there was a couple of comments or questions.
Oh, we went back up some.
You gotta go.
Excuse me, I just
up.
burped a little bit. I'm sorry. You're most welcome. What's this? Yep, we already read that one.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Do you buy kefir, good or bad, for shakes? It's actually pretty good for you. I don't buy it because I don't have cows' products. And there are goat's kefir, but they're very hard to find. But kefir does have probiotics and stuff in it. So if you do have a concern with getting enough probiotics, you could have kefir, but no, I don't have it. I know Kaylee does sometimes, but I don't have it. But yes, it does have good stuff and it does have bad stuff. So both. Do you eat any other yogurt besides goat, like coconut or almond yogurts? Are they too processed? Yeah, to me they are. I know, I hate to keep using Kaylee, and I know even Nicole actually, like, they don't mind having some almond yogurts and some coconut. We've tried them. I find they taste sciencey.
I'm not. So one.
That was one, and there was and then there was another one too. I can't remember the brand.
Anyway, but we have tried them.
Yeah, but more as like a dessert, not as like a regular day kind of thing. Like we threw berries in it, and then like dairy-free chocolate chips and stuff. But I think that they have a lot of ingredients in them that aren't that good for you. I'm not huge on them. So, and I think they taste sciencey, so I don't really like them. But we do have goat's yogurt, but not that often. I found I wanted it a lot when I was pregnant. It was a craving I had, probably like that calcium or like just that like fatty thing. But no, we don't really have a lot of yogurt. But when we do buy it, we often buy just goat's yogurt. Costco sells Silver Hills 20 grain bread. Is it in the blue? It's in the blue bag. Just check the ingredients and they all say sprouted.
Oh, that's the one. Okay, well,
that's the one. Go. Thank you, Rita. So it's a blue bag?
A blue bag.
See? I was right.
We'll find it.
Thank you, Rita. You helped me win that fight. Kefir is the shit. Yum. I get the organic and raspberry at Sobeys. Good to know.
Very cool.
I've actually only ever had plain. So it was kind of sour for me, but it's supposed to be really good in smoothies. But yeah, it is really good for your digestive tract, and it can actually be very good for babies too. So, but yeah, anyways, that wasn't really your question, but you guys are awesome. Love watching your videos. Oh, thank you. I know Matt hopped in on here on the Wednesday one. I just kind of gently said, I'm like, hey, we're doing a Facebook Live tonight. Oh, okay. It's not Monday, but okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, any other questions? Let us know. We'll hang out here for a couple more seconds. Do you have anything else to add?
No. No, I think we pretty much covered everything.
Your wife is amazing.
I went into, I went into the cupboard. I went into the
Yeah.
Yeah. Cheese.
Oh yeah, I just thought of one more thing.
Oh.
And then Amanda said something. We actually even buy our probiotics at Superstore. That's how amazing it is.
True.
Right? I know sometimes you get it from Well.
Sometimes I'll order them from well.ca because you can get 120 tablets for the same, like, if you were to buy 2 bottles of this at the Superstore, depending on if we have the time to wait for it to arrive, it's better to buy it from well.ca.
Yeah.
So I will get them from there.
Yeah, well.ca is a website.
Yeah, that's a great website.
Yeah, for healthy food. Yeah.
Healthy food and products like beauty products and things like that.
Yeah, I buy a lot of beauty products off there.
Obviously, I do too.
Yeah. I can send you the picture of the Silver Hills if you want. I also went to look at the ingredients. Yeah, sure. That's great.
Yeah.
Which one? Probiotics.
Udo's Choice.
Yeah. We seem to get this one a lot. It's so bright. There you go. It's backwards, but you get the idea. We seem to buy this one a lot, but sometimes we honestly just buy what is on sale. And we try to get the one with as many viable cells in it as possible. I appreciate your live videos. Thank you. You're most welcome, Lori. Thank you for watching. So thanks so much for popping on here, guys, and I hope it was helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt, for joining me
today.
no
problem. I'm happy to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great night, and we will see you on Monday. On Monday, we are talking about... Ooh, this is a good one. Oh, and then Brittany has another question. On Monday, we're talking about tricks on eating healthy while ordering in or going out.
Yes.
Do you take the probiotic when you're... Oh, yeah, Brittany, so good when you're breastfeeding. Definitely have the probiotic when you're breastfeeding, and I actually even gave... Rowynne, because Rowynne was colic. I know you have like the perfect baby and she's not colic, but we gave Rowynne a probiotic too, and you can actually like put it on your nipple, and then that's how they consume it, or you can put it in your finger and then shove it in their mouth. So
I know what I'm doing tonight. Whoops.
So yeah, but it is amazing. You are building their gut flora right now. So like, I know it sounds weird. Or are you just talking about your inappropriateness?
I'm still laughing at my silly joke.
But yeah, so I would actually really recommend that you take a probiotic yourself, and that you also give one to your daughter, Lennon. So it would be amazing for her. So her digestive tract is very immature right now, and you're setting the stones of what that's going to look like. So, and she gets everything from you. And have a lot of avocados. Amazing. You're most welcome. Amazing for her brain. BioGaia is awesome for babies. Absolutely. I can't say it didn't make her colic, but it definitely helped with her gas. And yeah, just like she takes amazing poos. Yeah. So I'm really proud of them. Yeah. Like, I actually show Matt, and Matt shows me. Like if we're not there, we're like, oh my God, you have to come see this. It's like an amazing
I'll call you into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or take a picture and send it.
Yeah.
Like, look at this poo. Like, I am so proud of it. It's like your own one that like you really want to show people, but you don't bring them in because they're gonna think you're weird. You're like, I have brought you in before. But anyways, that's a whole other Facebook Live too. But anyways, thanks for popping on here, guys, and I hope everyone has a great night.
Yes.
You're most welcome, Sarah. I hope you're feeling well, pregnant. Oh, probably more than halfway now. And you are more than halfway because you know what you're having. So anyways, have a great night, and
have a great night.
We'll see you on Monday. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.